Now, live from Artie's Cut Rate Liquor Store, shooting range, candle shop, bowling alley, massage parlor, it's the Dave and Doc Podcast.
Hello.
Happy night.
It is.
Welcome back.
Operating at nighttime here.
That's it. It's a Friday night lights.
It is. It's Friday.
I've got that glow.
You do.
I do.
That soul glow.
So-
That's what you got. That's what you got.
This is my baby hair. I've been growing it since birth.
It's episode 84 of the Dave and Doc Podcast. I'm Dave.
And I am Doc.
All things Dave and Doc related. And maybe other things too on our website at
You just never know.
daveanddoc.com. That's Dave, A-N-D, Doc, D-O-C.com. Enjoy. 60,000 subscribers strong.
Thank you all very much.
I don't know who the hell you are. You all need therapists. All of you.
We're their therapy, man.
You know what? Maybe we are.
I mean, it's hilarious.
Maybe this is
they
a
can
public
say to
service.
themselves, "Man, my life's not so bad." Right?
Right? Look at these yahoos.
Look at these guys. What are
Look
they
at these
talking about?
dipshits. What are they
right?
doing? Yeah.
Right? It's good to see you, though, man.
Oh, it is. Yeah.
Man, we had a couple little logistic complications and different things, and that seems to always find us somehow. So, but no, we're back at it.
Well,
now,
we
and I'm
we
glad
have
to
real
be.
lives and real jobs and
It's true.
real
Yes.
wives and
Yes.
real kids.
Yes, it's right.
9 strangers locked in a house
that are ours. Right.
that are ours. Well, I mean, I'm still waiting for some test results, but I'm just saying.
I mean, my youngest, he definitely looks like my wife to a T. So people are like, "Are you sure?" And I was like, "Oh no, I was there. Trust me."
Does he like?
She's blaming me for
Did he dress up as a UPS guy for Halloween? I'm just saying, just throwing that out there. You never know,
Or the mail guy? Yeah, the mailman.
right? Yeah.
No, not so much.
Karl Malone?
Oh my god. What was it he used to do?
He
would do
delivers.
he did like that
Yeah.
stupid
Yeah, he's got
club.
this-
Yeah. You know what I'm talking about? And then yeah.
Yeah, you got Trump that does this, and then Karl Malone did this.
He did the slam down.
Yeah,
Yeah. Karl Malone a little more muscular than the Donald.
yeah,
But not as
I like
wise.
one of them better than the other.
Daddy's home.
I'll let you figure out which one.
And we'll get there. So So what's up?
Well, I mean, what's up with me or what's up with you?
Big weeks. We're very busy this week. Lots of things up and down.
There's been a lot going on. Yeah, it's been a busy couple of weeks for me.
We're kind of gassed.
Yeah, I mean,
I guess we're going to talk about
and
that.
one of us, one of us probably had to release some.
We did.
After you got pumped full of air.
I did. Yes, we had the first colonoscopy. We're going to talk about that. Here in a minute. Yes. So wonderful times. We'll get into great detail. So,
Do you think they use the same tube that they used with me? I hope they did.
They might have.
I feel like we're akin.
They might have. Did you feel the bond? Did you?
I did.
Did you have like some intestinal pains while I was going through?
I did. Like I was sitting at work, like, whoo.
I didn't wake up with a funny taste in my mouth, so I was very happy about that. So
Yeah,
that was
well,
good.
I
That
can't
was,
say
that
the
was
same. It's like it's a little nutty.
I told you, man, you got to breathe through your nose. Got to breathe through your nose.
I'm still trying to learn.
But I've got some colonoscopy dad jokes because
Okay.
I thought that might be pretty good. Just to celebrate a little bit,
Sure.
But so did you hear about the doctor that was having some trouble during the colonoscopy procedure that he was performing?
No.
He just kept saying, like, super loud, "I can't see shit."
Oh God.
Oh,
That's awful.
so I've always been told that I had to stick up my butt.
Yeah.
But if that was the case, how come the camera didn't find it at my colonoscopy?
Exactly. It's like it's got to be in there. Go back and look again.
My doctor told me that my colonoscopy would be totally painless.
Yeah.
Sounds like a load of crap.
Well, that's the night before. Ooh.
I never realized that I had inner beauty. Do you know who reassured me of that?
Who's that?
My GI doctor.
Of course he
during my colonoscopy.
Did.
So So I was nervous for my exam.
Yeah.
But then I remembered it's just a colonoscopy, and I can pull all the answers out of my ass.
Yeah, right. No need to cram for the exam.
No, nice and easy as we go. Then the last, I got to find it. Sorry. Oh, yeah. And so at my colonoscopy, my doctor is going to be checking for any issues in my large intestine.
Yeah.
Talk about an analysis.
Yeah,
You like the one in the middle. That was a good one.
that was good.
That was good.
That was good.
So that's kind of put it right in there just to keep you hooked.
So,
just to keep you hooked.
So how's your ass feeling, man?
Man, it's good.
It's good.
It's good.
Good.
You know, no residual problems.
That's good.
So yep, everything was good. Had one little tiny polyp kind of on the. We had made the turn for home, and that's when they saw it. It was not large, and it of course it's not cancerous or anything like that. So, but I will probably have to repeat mine in about 5 years or so.
Yeah.
Which is fine. The prep was what it was. I mean, you know, you're having diarrhea. It's like, oh my. Now, I mean, I was on a liquid diet, so that really wasn't bad. What I didn't like, I mean, you know me. I mean, we just had some wings, so
Yeah.
I like to eat.
Yeah.
So my whole problem was, I was like, man, I'm kind of hungry. This is kind of rough because you couldn't really eat anything. I mean, I guess I could have, but you know how that would ended up later on.
Yeah.
So it was much better, like I said, doing the liquid diet. But fortunately, you know, they make like the bone broth stuff that has the protein in it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Laura got some chicken, and it was actually pretty decent. And so I drank, you know, several cups of that to get some protein in me, and that actually helped me not be quite as hangry. Unfortunately, the procedure was early in the morning, so I mean, we were out of there pretty early, and so we went and got some breakfast, and it was delicious. Highly recommend Scrambled Jake's in the Knoxville area. If you have not eaten there,
Haven't eaten there.
we shall have to go there. It's pretty dang
I'm already
good.
excited.
Got some delicious pancakes. Got some great scramblers. So good stuff. Good stuff. They got this huge cinnamon honey bun thing, and they've got these like fried deviled eggs. If you like fried deviled,
Is there
eggs.
anything you didn't eat there?
I ate a lot. I'm not gonna lie to you. We did bring a little bit of stuff home, just because. But it was fabulous.
He's sucking down some
Oh
bacon
man,
and
it was
everything
so
else.
good. It was so good, man. Yeah, that scrambler. I highly recommend Jake's favorite. It's got the eggs and the potatoes and you know they've got some chives and some cheese stuff, and they put it through the salamander, I'm sure, and just heat it all up.
How do you do with the anesthesia?
Delicious. Oh man, I was fine.
So
I woke up. Now sorry, you want to go ahead or you want me to?
Well, so when I woke up, according to Lindsay, I was a little feisty. I was saying some things out loud, like
Not you, never.
calling my doctor names, like, where is this guy at? Bring him back in here. Again, all in fun and jokes, because I was teasing him before the procedure, but
Right,
apparently
right.
when I came out of anesthesia and I was trying to like dress myself.
It was
and,
still on your mind.
I was I was trying to dress myself, and Lindsay's like, you can't even move. What's wrong with you? So
No. So I woke up, and what's funny is obviously I was awake, but when I really remembered stuff, it was funny because it was right when the nurse was taking off the EKG leads.
Mm-hmm.
And so like I am awake, and I think they thought I was still little, but like it was whoosh, and I was like, So
you took a little skin with you.
and it was fine.
skin.
I mean, I'd rather you do that than be like, oh, let's just, you
Yeah,
know what I
just-
mean?
just
Because
yank
that's
it.
terrible. I'm
Yeah,
like,
just
no,
yank it off. Yeah.
But no, I woke up well. I mean, they brought Laura right back, and I mean, I was talking, and she was like, "You're really not jacked up." I was like, "No, I'm not." I was like, "This is what happens." I mean, when I had to have a procedure on my eye years ago, and I remember when I woke up, and that was real anesthesia. I mean, the nurse was like, "Oh my gosh," because like I got up and I was like, "I need to go to the bathroom," and she was like, "Are you okay?" I was like, "Yeah, I can get up." And she's like, "Wow, you're like feeling amazing."
Not me.
So yes, I mean, I got up. I was
I'd have
talking to
pissed
the
on the
nurse.
wall.
I was.
I would have pissed right on the wall.
The doc came in. I talked to him. It was all good. Now, I mean, I might have maybe flirted a little bit with Laura, kind of, and you got to know, my wife. I mean, she's modest in that way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But so I didn't really say anything inappropriate. But I mean, it was I mean, I was definitely hitting on my wife, probably a little louder than you would naturally expect.
Did you say something like, you know what I'm wearing underneath this gown, baby? Nothing.
I think I did say, I said, well, the gown doesn't, it doesn't necessarily all tie in the back. That was the other funny part. So they only tied part of the top.
Yeah.
And didn't tie the whole thing. And so when I got up, the nurse was looking at me because I had grabbed the bottom of it. Because I was like, I don't think anybody wants to see these dad bod hams hanging out the back. And she was like, oh, they didn't tie the back? I was like, no. I was like, they tied the top part and they couldn't. Anyway, yeah. So it was funny, though, because I looked back when I was walking and it did kind of throw my balance off a little bit. And I think she was like, oh, and I was like, I'm fine. I said, I just had to stop walking and trying to, but no, I mean, I woke up good. I remember everything that everybody said. So it was,
Yeah, not me.
It was.
No. I don't even think I wore the gown until they made me. Like, I'm just laying there.
Well, that was like one of the first things.
I'm like, I don't care. Here,
I will tell you one funny thing. Before I had to like change clothes and to get ready to just be pre-op and all that. So you have to sign a form. They make you sign the patient form or whatever.
Yeah.
Well, I wasn't thinking. So they put the form in front of me. So you know what I did. So it's the form for the physician to sign. The anesthesiologist.
Right.
It just says physician's signature. Well,
of course,
dumbass. Yeah, so I signed my name on that piece of paper, and the nurse didn't know, even though it said who I was, like plain as day on the
right.
wristband, and I didn't realize it. I didn't know it, until I was like, oh, it actually says that on my wristband. She was like, I think you signed the wrong line. And I was like, oh, I said, I'm so sorry. I did. I said, and I didn't say force of habit or anything like that. And so by that time she'd put the little probe on me to measure my oxygen in my heart. And it said my heart rate was like 156.
Yeah.
And I'm like, it's not 156. I mean, because you can feel that.
Oh,
and I'm like, it's not, and so I did say, I said, no, it's not tachycardic. And then she didn't really pick up on that. And I said the pro's messed up, and then this was happening, and then this nurse behind says, well, I get white coat syndrome too. It's probably just some white coat syndrome. You must be nervous. And I said, well, I'm hungry. And I said, well, and I'm also a white coat. And I said, I think that's why I signed there. And then they were like, and it was just, it was just kind of funny after that. And I was like, yeah, I just force of habit. Because I signed it just like a norm, which my signature is, it's my signature. That I've signed it because it's not anything.
I forge it all the time.
Fabulous.
All the time.
Yeah. I mean, it is not, they say if you do a real prestigious signature, there's probably some narcissism there. Mine is not. It's just some chicken scratch. But it's mine because nobody else writes like that.
Yeah.
So they're like, oh, now we know why you did that. Because they were going to make me do another form, and then magically they just marked it out and let me sign it. I was like, you can get another form. It costs 10 cents, So it was kind of funny. That part was funny because I signed the wrong line, and then the probe wasn't working for my.
It cuts into the profit, man. Come on, they can't print another.
10 cents. I mean, So, but other than that, and then after the fact, just you are a little gassy.
Yeah,
you are a little gassy.
Yeah.
But again, that was not terrible. Like I said, my biggest thing was, number one, I drank a ton of fluids because I was determined. I was like, I'm not getting dehydrated. But it was like not being able to eat. Like that was not fun because it does just make you feel kind of ugh. But like I said, the bone broth helped. So I highly recommend. I don't know the brand name, but getting if you got to do this, get the bone broth with the protein because
I did the chicken broth.
Yeah.
Here's what I didn't like about it though, because after I ate the chicken broth or drank the chicken broth, about I don't know. Seems like an hour later, it smelled like chicken broth while I was doing something else.
Oh, now I did not have any of that happen.
And it was awful.
No, I didn't have that.
But when you have a nose this big, listen, I smell everything.
I mean, my nose ain't tiny, dude. Look.
I'm like a damn bloodhound.
oh my God.
Listen, I walk into a house and go, somebody got killed here. Who was it? CSI. Here we go. I get down on the floor, can sniff people out.
You got him.
I got him. Oh yeah, you can't get away from me.
So it was exciting, like I said, everything else was great. I mean, no other problems, no other concerns.
I'll have you know that my anus and
was clear
and connected intestinal tract had no polyps.
That's
one.
good.
I'm actually surprised because I got jacked up shit down there. I mean, you know that. I got jacked up shit.
Yeah, but I think that's more just some
Syphilis.
peristalsis and some muscle stuff, that I thought.
Hepatitis.
No, I don't know. I've tested you for that.
AIDS.
I don't think I've tested you for that.
I have
but
3 blood types.
I have,
H, I, and B.
that's bad.
It is bad.
Oh, that's bad. That's bad.
People live now. It's okay. It's okay. I actually expected when mine was finished, I expected the doctor to come back in and say, dude, it looks like
it's like a train wreck.
It looks like somebody.
I got in there and I said, "Oh, we's going to work hard today." But no,
we woke you up in the middle of procedure and asked you if you'd ever been shot by a shotgun.
It's like, are you okay?
Yeah.
Has anything penetrated your anus?
Yeah, well, of course, but that's just
just a hypodermic protector. The gerbil.
But I really expected him to come back and say, "Yeah, we found 160 polyps." I don't know what the number is when it's bad.
Have to probably have some sort of genetic disorder that would predispose you to colon cancer.
Because a polyp could just be a thing, right?
Yeah, I mean, you can just have a polyp. I mean, because like I said, mine it was laying flat, which is called sessile, and it was
a lazy polyp,
and it was not. It's just. I mean, maybe I don't know.
Lazy.
No, because
we call those lazy polyps.
Because pedunculated is when it has a little stalk to it. That's
you are making that word up.
No.
That you are making that word
pedunculated. No. Pedunc.
In your peduncadunk.
Culat.
You got a pedunculated polyp in your peduncadunk.
Redunkadunk.
Here comes Rikishi with his peduncadunk.
That was the best. The stink face.
The stink face.
Man. Best sleep I had in a while, though, man. That's that propofol is some dangerous stuff.
Oh, it is. I know, man. I'm really careful when I use it at home.
And I mean, like I said, I woke up great. Like I said, they were just, but not everybody does.
The sleep was great. When I woke up, I was a little cantankerous.
Oh no, I was as happy. Like I said, I was flirting.
I think I may or may not have called my doctor a cocksucker. I'm not sure.
No, there was none of that.
It's a true story.
I said, I think I was flirting with my wife, but that's what I think I'm supposed to do. So, but
I think I might have been flirting with a doctor. He was not appreciative.
This magic moment.
Well, it felt like, he'd already
y'all had made friends.
They used the 1 tube all the way down.
Here comes the 1 to the 3 to the 4. When you shove that thing in your ass on the floor. In the lateral DQ, we don't know. We want some more. Oh, my. Sorry. It's okay, man. You can wake up a little spicy. It's okay.
It's
okay.
I don't sleep a lot. Well, I do now, but
okay.
I
See, we're good, right? So moving on, right?
Yeah. So
it was all good. We're good. We're good.
Let's talk about drugs for
Bone
a second.
broth. Speaking of medicine.
Speaking of drugs. So
you don't like the drugs, but the drugs like you.
That's right. And so I hadn't slept in 10, 15 years.
Which we hadn't talked about that a ton, to be honest.
We had not, no, because I think you get used to it.
Well, you just thought that was the way it had to be.
And for me to sleep more than 2 hours at a time was a lot. And
sure, right. It's amazing. We do talk about it. It's amazing what you get used to when you've been dealing with it for a long time.
And
of anything, pain, sleep.
Yeah. Huge penis. It's just you just deal with it.
The water's cold. The floor hurts.
Yeah.
It's just the way it is.
It's like, do your joints hurt? Well, it's not really a joint.
Yeah, tripod. It's it's more of a circulation.
Leaning on the corner, with my arms in my pocket. So we talked about it in my last visit, and you're like, okay, let's try something, and I did, and lo and behold, it's like almost 4 to 5 hours now.
That's good.
Isn't it amazing? 4 to 5 hours now.
That's awesome. Maybe 6 if you're lucky.
Yeah, no, sometimes it has been 6.
That's fantastic.
And
that's a huge difference. Like I said, when you're getting 2 hours and you're waking up, and I mean that it really is when you double, sometimes triple, and it's decent sleep.
And it's like I'm dreaming about stuff,
because it's letting your brain get into REM.
Carrie Underwood and I have been married numerous times. Beautiful ceremonies.
I bet. Now, squirreling just for a minute, I did not watch the inauguration. I know we're going to talk about that, but I've seen the video of her, like where the music cuts out and everything, and she sings a cappella. I mean, that
girl can just sing.
That was pretty impressive, and she wasn't even nervous for a second. And anyway, so that was some cool stuff. So I mean,
that girl can just sing.
Yeah, right.
And it doesn't matter if she couldn't, because I didn't care. Because I'm like, oh, hello.
I mean, she's a beautiful woman.
I've been waiting all day. That
is undisputed.
No, yeah,
undisputed.
Yes,
from Oklahoma.
Yeah,
how about that?
Yeah, just a little girl from Oklahoma likes riding tractors, and now she's riding a hockey player, but she's got a ton of money. Ex-hockey player.
Yes. Yeah, he could retire.
So
he's okay to retire.
Yeah.
He's feeling good.
So here's something. Moving on.
Yeah.
That just has been driving me nuts. And
Dave's getting some rest, and he's fired up.
I am. So here's a little peek into my psyche and what I like to watch to kind of wind me down, right? And as football starts to kind of go away, and there's only 3 games left now, I start watching things, and one of the things,
Niners are out,
and the Niners are
distraught, and the Chiefs are probably going to win again, and I'm going to be sick over that.
Yeah, we'll talk. I have a new nickname.
We're going to
Chiefs.
get there.
As a matter of fact,
we're going to get.
I'm going to coin a new nickname for
them
like tonight.
We need to put it down as a trademark or something. Because Mahomes' wife will try to steal it or something.
We'll
get there.
So here's what I've done. I've started watching videos of people getting arrested for DUI. And it's so entertaining because everybody says the same thing, right? Let me get into character. No, I think you've been drinking. You're drunk. I mean, come on. Like one person had said that they tried to make a right too early. And it was at a railroad track, and
what they turned into.
Like a pole and something.
That's
else.
what I was going to
It's
say.
like, well, what are you? I mean, are you not going to turn on the track? And the cop is like, the turn is at the light, which by the way is up there. Yeah, I know. I was, thinking about my colonoscopy. And so I've started watching these videos, and those led.
Are these on TikTok? Where are these on?
No, YouTube.
It's like a YouTube short.
Not the TikTok.
Not the TikTok.
Oh, I don't watch the shorts. These are like 30-minute long videos.
Oh, wow.
Of people getting arrested.
I got you.
DUI.
Okay, so it's
can't stop. And so that can't stop the feeling. So that leads into videos of watching people in court, right? So that's how. I mean, it's this thing, and so I watch people in court.
Okay.
And I've noticed something that really bothers me.
Oh my!
Doesn't matter what race the person is.
Yeah.
Okay. Doesn't matter. They can be white, black, brown, purple, green, orange, or indigo. It's my favorite color. Just kidding. Red's my favorite color. Come on. But when they talk, they have to clap their hands with every word they say. And I can't take it anymore. I'm like, why are you talking? Like, that doesn't, I mean, every word.
Why do they do that, Dave?
Yes.
Why?
It's like, what does that do? It doesn't.
Well, I mean, naturally, it is a nonverbal expression with the verbal expression to really emphasize your point.
I guess.
Like a fist pump.
It's like, and like these people are doing it to judges, and the judges are like, no.
Right. That's the stupid part.
Anymore.
It's like you realize that is the judge, right? That is the one that's controlling kind of what's happening here at your arraignment. Bail, bond, none.
And judges can do whatever they want.
Throw you out, add something on it,
There is very little legal recourse against a judge.
That's true.
I mean, it's just the truth. My wife used to work for the Department of Children's Services. I know this all too well. Whatever a judge wants to do, they can just do.
Yeah. You might get it on appeal, but
in
the moment, you ain't getting it.
Because if the judge says, now we're done.
But
we're in the middle of a trial. No, you're done.
It's like, no, but you don't understand.
You're done.
And you're just going to go to jail now.
Yeah. Yeah. But I mean, people doing that, like they're talking to cops, like smacking their hands together. It's like, what are you doing? And again, this isn't racist. This isn't sexist.
No, because we're not even talking about any of that.
I saw females doing it.
Right,
I saw men doing it.
Women, and it doesn't matter who.
It's ridiculous. Dogs, it didn't matter. Whoa, 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 whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa. But it drives me absolutely insane. It's like, and so it just, here was the one common denominator of all the videos that I watch, which is hours because I'm just that guy. They're all younger folks.
Now.
It may be a little ageism, if there is an ism here.
Now you're talking.
I'm like, what is this country coming to? Is that what we're teaching in schools? All right, everyone, if you want to be taken seriously, I need you to clap your hands loudly while you're talking.
I think it gets back to the types of discipline or lack thereof that go on now.
Yeah.
And the, especially over the last few years, and even in the past, well, you can do whatever you want to do.
Yeah.
Because we endorse it, we support it, alternative, whatever. And there's no fear.
Yeah.
Because there was a time, if you did that to a principal, without hesitation, they would reach down in their drawer or on the floor or wherever, and they would pull out this big old thing that was wood or some sort of, fabricated, material, probably had some holes in it so the air didn't dissipate the force of the swing, and they whooped your ass.
Yes.
And he didn't have to call anybody. She didn't have to call anybody. All you had to do was have somebody else be there to witness it. And that was it. We didn't call anybody. And then somewhere along the lines, I've sent a note. My child can't be paddled. Oh, okay. Now you can't paddle anybody.
No, you can't.
There's no fear. So these people, they think there's no fear. Back in the day, you did that to a cop. You got put in the handcuffs and you're on the ground because you're the disorderly conduct. Now, even with the body cam, they can't touch them.
No.
And
I mean, people are in
or
their
they're
face.
trying to sue them, even though they won't get away with it, or they just tase them.
Yeah, people are in their face, like slapping their hands together, talking to them. It's like, no.
Yeah, they used to be able to consider that a threat upon them, and they could at least detain the person until they calmed the heck down.
Yeah.
And there was nothing wrong with that. And again, I understand, yes, there are police force out there that are abusive. They take advantage of their job title to hurt others, and that's wrong. That's not what we're talking about. It's the lack of fear of consequences is why people are doing these things, because they think that they can just do whatever they want.
Yeah. And I don't understand.
And that's where because it's disrespectful. You don't understand.
I know. And it's like, first of all, it's like, okay, like a cop comes up on a situation where you are on top of somebody beating the shit out of them. They pull you off, and then you're going to clap your hands at the cop saying, I wasn't doing anything. Yeah. Well, I know my rights. What? Like, what?
Yeah.
Let me just tell you, folks. And again, I haven't had very many run-ins with the law.
Fortunately.
I really haven't.
Fortunately.
But the times that I have been pulled over, I do a lot of yes, sir. Right. And about 95% of the time that I've been pulled over, which is only like 3 or 4 times, maybe tops.
I was going to say, as slow as you drive, that surprises me.
Yeah. It's more like, okay, cool. Have a good night.
I think I have been pulled over more than 4 or 5 times. I won't lie to you. In my illustrious driving career.
Yeah, me, it's only been 4 or 5 times. One time, in fact, I had lost my wallet.
Oh, man.
I think I may have told you this. I don't know. I'm off air. I think I may have told you. But I worked at the radio station, right? At one of the radio stations I worked. It's the first radio station I worked at. WRIC, the station where rock and roll is.
The Rick.
And so I got paid, and then I went and cashed the check, because that's what you did then. So you had cash. And I put it in the wallet, and I went and got girlfriend.
All $50.
Yeah.
We going to the Sizzler, baby.
No. Maybe one meal at the Sizzler. We'll share plates.
Applebee's on a date night.
Yeah, I couldn't
Where's
afford
my gift card? Where's my gift card? Did somebody give me a gift card?
And so I had to go back by the station after I picked up said girlfriend after I'd cashed the check, because I've got big money now. I think it was like $205. Okay.
And she said, I'll have the steak and the lobster. And you said, that comes with something else.
Well, I mean, if you want to go kill a cow and fish for it, baby. How about we go home and eat some popcorn and watch a free movie on cable? That 2-hour movie that takes 6 hours on cable because of all the, condom commercials.
The commercial?
Yeah, so,
that's right.
So anyway, I had to drive back to the station for some reason. I can't remember why. And for some reason I had my wallet in my hand, and I laid it on top of my car. And all this come flashing back to me because it was funny because we actually went somewhere to eat and I didn't have any money. I'm
Oh
like,
my
I don't know
God.
where my wallet's at. So we had to turn around and I'm on my way back to the station and there was a flipping road check. And so the cop says, yeah, can I get your license, registration or whatever? And I said, I can give you my registration. I work for WRIC, like that was going to carry some weight. He didn't give a shit. And he's like, I don't care. You work for that piece of shit station. It wasn't a piece of shit station. But
No, I
everybody
understand.
thought it was.
I'm with you. I'm with you.
I loved that station and all the drug use that happened there. But, oh God, I got some stories.
Is that station still in existence?
They were purchased.
Oh, so it's.
I don't know if the building is still there, but that building, oh God, there was holes and shit everywhere. Don't never sit on the couch there.
I remember. Now we talked about that. I remember. Yes.
Hey man.
So what ended up happening?
So that they said, and I said, listen, hey, I can give you my registration, but I said, here's what happened or whatever. He's like, well, he looks at me for a second and he was like, okay, just make sure you take your or carry your license with me. I'm like, well, I mean, I would. And he's like, it's fine. Go ahead. Right. And again, I could have just said, I'm not giving you my license.
I don't have to. I know my rights. I
don't
my
have to
rights.
identify in this state. Now in Virginia, let me explain to you guys something. Now that I live in Tennessee and I'm a safe distance away from the state of Virginia, let me tell you what. Now you need to ask me. I need you to ask me the question.
Okay.
So I can just answer it.
Okay.
Ask me what is illegal in the state of Virginia.
Dave Mann.
Yes, Doc.
I have a question.
Okay. I love questions.
What is illegal in the state of Virginia?
Fucking everything.
Oh.
Everything is illegal, right?
Oh.
Ugly tires, illegal. Ugly girlfriend, illegal. Tinted windows, illegal. Non-tinted windows, illegal.
Captain George's.
Captain George's, probably illegal. Everything's illegal.
Buffet, illegal.
Your shirt is too bright. That's illegal.
Oh.
I'm just telling you, everything's illegal. In the
So
state.
you're not getting away with much.
And the fact that I was able to all those years just proves I was just kind of like cooperative, right?
That's
It's
very
like,
interesting.
yeah.
You must have like that good vibe.
I got pulled over once in a road check, and they were letting other people go, and they pointed at me and went like this. Like I'm like, oh, this was in Virginia Beach, and they were looking for somebody that robbed a bank. That apparently was one person in a truck that looked like
Oh
mine.
my god! Well, and you know it was you. Don't even try to.
Of course it
deny
was.
You would just stash the cash.
do you
before
think I bought
came
this
to it.
house for?
Right?
Right.
I mean, that's
I paid cash for this fucker.
listen, you were just smarter.
It's been in the mattress all these years. So the state trooper comes up to me and he goes, I said, hello. I said, so did I do something wrong? And he goes, listen, we're looking for somebody or whatever. And he was like, but it was a white pickup truck. He goes, this clearly doesn't meet the description, and you clearly don't meet the description of the person. And I said, let me guess, he's taller than me. And the cop said, yep. Not joking.
Dang.
And he said, you're good, man. He goes, hammer down. I said, awesome. And that was it. But yeah. But
I don't know. Honest to God, I do not know. I've never clapped at. I've never had to step out of the car.
no, I haven't.
But I couldn't tell you how many tickets I've had. And like I said, this is over a long period of time. But I mean, I guess. But it's definitely.
I've had 3.
I
3
bet.
tickets.
I bet it's less than 10. I've gotten out of when I've gotten pulled over. I've gotten out 3 times.
Yeah.
But that was really some fortunate circumstances. Twice it was actually because just talking and I was actually going back to Memphis to school, talking to the cop, and the guy was like, where are you headed? Because you're kind of like in no man's land in between, like beyond Nashville, trying, and anyway, beyond Lebanon. And it's like, where are you? And I said, well, I go to school in Memphis. And what they did, one time they issued me a seatbelt citation, which you could argue, because my seatbelt was on, but my registration was in the locked glove box of the car. And so I undid my seatbelt to get the registration before he came up to me.
Yeah.
And so he goes, "You're not wearing your seatbelt." And I said, "I swear I was." But so he said, "You can't prove to me." And I was like, "Dude, I had to get my reg." Anyway, so he wrote me a ticket for that instead, which was, that's only like $10 or something.
Yeah.
And then the other time the guy just let me go because I was it was a caravan of people. That was the thing that got me fired up. And basically we were talking, and he realized when he figured out where I was going, because a lot of people, he only got me and one other person, and he let us both go anyway. The worst one when I got pulled over was going back from Memphis, and this guy did give me a ticket. I may have told you this story. He pulls me and two other cars over all at the same time, so it's a trifecta stop.
Now, how does he do that? Does he get in front of the car, the front car?
So what he did, he pulled up beside me and he started motioning over, and then he gunned it up to the third car and he basically blocked it, and we all had to pull over. It was crazy.
Yeah.
Guy was a jerk, which is whatever, and didn't have a lot to say. But what really got me fired up, and if I hadn't been in school, he brings me the license back. Have I really never told you this?
You've told me that, but we haven't told it on the podcast.
So
I know
he
this.
brings me the license back.
Yeah.
And it's not my license. He gave me the middle car. I was the back car.
Now, did you know the middle car?
No, I didn't know. No,
Oh, so you guys weren't traveling
No,
together.
because that was one of the first things he asked me. He goes, "Are you caravanning with them?" And I said, "No, I'm not. I don't know them." But apparently nobody was together. Like the other two cars were not either.
Wow.
So he mixed up just me in the middle car. So he gave the right one back
I got
to
you.
the person
So
at the front.
two of you
but
got
the middle
screwed.
car
Yeah.
and me, and it was a woman, and she did not resemble. I mean, didn't look like me, but other things were not the same either. You know what I'm saying? And so this guy freaks out.
Yeah.
So he goes, "You got to follow me." And that's all he says. He jumps in his car. This is no joke, because he'd already let them go, because I was the last car. He guns it, turns his lights on, and we are flying down the interstate to catch up with this woman to switch out the licenses. And me not knowing anything, 'cause this was way back in the day. I mean, I should have been like, "What's your," I had his name and badge number, but I should have been like, "Who's your supervising officer?" Because I think we need to contact them right now, because you just put my life at risk. But dumb me, I just wanted my license. I wanted to get back to the house.
Did he rip the ticket up at that point?
No, he kept all the tickets. That was the other crappy thing. The guy didn't. And that's where if I'd had some sense,
He would have lost his job, and you could have had a lawsuit and everything.
Oh yeah, yeah. But no, he kept the ticket too. So that's what I'm saying. If I'd had any sense back, but anyway, but
I got pulled over
less than 10 tickets, and I've gotten out 3 times.
I was 16. I was doing 35 and a 25 at 1 a.m. leaving Long John Silver's with no one else on the road. You know who was on the road? The cop.
The cop.
That was it.
That's terrible.
That was one.
That's terrible.
And then 2 years later, I still remember this. January of 1995. NFC Championship Day. Niners, Cowboys. I'm eating at Bonanza Steakhouse in Lebanon, Virginia.
Dun, 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 dun.
In Virginia, you have to have 2 tags, front and rear, or they'll stick it up your rear. And my front tag was covered by a 49ers tag.
Oh, no.
And this cop,
Oh, no.
I mean, whips around, skidding tires, pull me over. And said girl I was with, which was the same said girl I was with at the radio station that time, she said, "You're not speeding." I'm like, "I never." Really?
Right. It's like this. Right. Because I don't.
First of all, I'm in a 4-cylinder Chevy Cavalier. It won't speed. It will not speed.
Feel the power of the 4-cylinder.
I pulled over, and he gets up to the window like he's like out of breath, like he's mad. He goes, "Do you know why I pulled you over?" A lot of things cross my mind to say, like, you think I'm cute, or, you want to know how big my penis is, or, all those ththings. And I said,
This is a beast of a four-cylinder, isn't it?
I looked at him and I said, well, you didn't just pull me over. I said, you whipped around like a U-turn to come and get me. I'm like, so apparently I was doing something terrible.
Bad. Something bad has happened, right?
He said,
you're sitting there thinking,
he said, your front license plate is covered. I'm like, and the look on my face and the look on her face. And then I think he finally realized that maybe he went a little overboard for this. Like, just maybe.
That's hilarious.
He's like, you can't have your license plate covered. I said, oh, okay. I said, I'll go take it off right now. I got a screwdriver in the car. Okay. He's like, that's not good enough.
Okay. But if I uncovered, then it's not covered anymore.
I was convinced that he was a Cowboys fan, and then the Niners beat the Cowboys 38-28, and then went on January 29th of 1995 to beat the San Diego Chargers 49-26. So I didn't really give a shit at that point because I went home and it was 21-0 in the first 8 minutes of the game, and I'm like, you know what? I don't really care about the ticket. The third and last time, oh no, that's not the last time. Oh, let me tell you this story. I don't think I've told you this. This is the craziest shit that's ever happened to any human on the face of the earth, and it would only happen to me. How do I say this without saying too much? I got to be careful here.
I think the statute of limitations is probably bad.
Because of someone else in my life, I was having trouble getting my registration renewed.
Oh.
Because of someone else in my life.
Oh.
That's where I'll leave that. But it's the truth. And I was in the process of getting things squared away. But because of this, there was a problem, right? Mm-hmm. So on my way to doing something, used to strip at a club, whatever I was doing. And so state trooper pulls me over.
Yeah.
And says, registration, blah, 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 blah. I said, well, here's the story, sir. Like, I've talked to DMV. Like, this is going to be squared in like 2 weeks, whatever. Like, I understand or whatever. And he's like, I'm going to write you a ticket. I said, okay, cool. So,
which a lot of times if you get it,
that's what he said.
Yeah,
he said, listen, I'll be in court that day.
Right. If you get it fixed, they will throw it out. They will take care of you.
He said, it will not hurt me in the least if you show up to court and it's all taken care of. And he's like, this is going to be like 30 days from now. No big deal. And he was like, a little foreshadowing here. If you get pulled over again, just say, hey, I'd already talked to a cop this morning and whatever.
He's already given me a ticket.
And I said, cool. 2.5 hours later, I leave the West Virginia line, come back into the beautiful state of Virginia, the Commonwealth of Virginia.
No, where everything is illegal.
Where everything's illegal. State trooper comes up on me like 750 miles an hour. I don't speak mad Copanese, but that's what he sounded like. And I said, sir, listen, I understand. I just got ticketed today. Here it is, right? Here's the fresh.
But you were
ticket.
in West Virginia instead of Virginia.
No. I was in Virginia. I just crossed the line.
No, I'm saying, but the other ticket was in West Virginia.
No. It was in Virginia.
Oh, okay.
I was leaving Virginia to go to West Virginia and then coming back to
Okay, so it was in the same state.
I should have just fucking stayed in West Virginia. Let's be honest. Because they don't give a shit. That looks like your registration's expired. Yeah, that's right. Well, y'all get that fixed. Thanks, buddy. So, anyway.
So you're doing what the other state trooper policeman said.
He looks at me. He looks at me and says, "Why does that affect me?" I said, "I don't know if it does or it doesn't.
I'm just doing what your counterpart said to do."
Yeah. I said, "Your colleague said to show this to anyone because it just happened 4.5 hours ago." And he said, took my license back to his car, and I'm like, he's going to write me another ticket. He didn't. He come back up and he says, get it fixed. That's what he said, right? Just complete, again, I don't know levels of crime that these people see, right? I don't know. But
I'm sure there's some bad.
It wasn't like I was on the lam.
No.
You
were not giving them that vibe.
I wasn't drunk. I had a Mountain Dew from Taco Bell in the cup holder. I wasn't doing anything. I was working that day. I was doing stuff.
Your weed was back at your house.
Yeah, and the hooker was wrapped up tight in the trunk. There's no big
The briefcase full of money.
Yeah.
It was hidden in the secret compartment.
So then I go through the beautiful town of Richlands, Virginia. It's not Richlands. Richlands. That's how you
Right.
pronounce it. And I love
right.
Richlands, still love it. And there's people that I know listen to the show from Richlands. Hey, everybody. How you
Appreciate
doing?
y'all.
Home of the Richlands Blue Tornado, 2-time state champions. Did a lot of games for them, over 100 games, as a matter of fact, for them. I sound like Trump, don't I? I did some games, maybe the most games ever. I don't know. Some people say that.
I was the greatest. I am the greatest.
I'm the greatest. I mean, some people say it. I don't know if I am, but some people say that. I love me some Trump. Boys back in town. So I'm driving through Richlands, right? Small, and again, you got to understand, small little town.
Understand? Right.
Small town.
Yes.
I mean, like when the train runs through the town, everybody in the town knows it,
Got it.
right? Earshot.
Got it.
The joke used to be if you're going to rob one of the banks there, you just wait for the train because the police station is right across the tracks.
And
so
nobody
they
has.
never get
I was
to
like,
you.
nobody has any idea.
Well,
that,
shit, Jim, I can't call the cops. So I'm driving through Richlands, blue lights. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Same day. It's like 8 o'clock at night. I pull over in the high school parking lot, right? Guy recognizes me because, I mean, people knew me there. And he's like, oh, Dave Mann. And I'm like, yeah. He's like, man, just, your registration. And I start telling him the story. And he starts laughing and like cannot stop laughing. And he was like, so you've been pulled over 3 times for this shit today? I said, yes. I said, do you need to run my license or anything? He goes, I know who you are, dude. It's okay. He said, where are you heading? I'm like, dude, I just want to go home.
and I keep getting pulled over.
I said, could you like give me an escort or something home so I don't get pulled over? He goes, dude, I'm the only person on patrol. You're not going to get pulled over again. If I'd known it was you, I wouldn't have pulled you over to begin with. I'm like, thank you. 3 times one day for the same violation. But that's the state of Virginia.
That's pretty impressive.
I'm telling you, that's why nobody
That's
wants
pretty
to live there. First of all, there's state tax. Just ram it right up my rectum, like, without anesthesia. And, everything's illegal. Oh my God, it's a beautiful state. It really is a beautiful state. And I got to travel all over the state doing football on radio.
No, you had some fun. You had some fun times.
And, oh my God, it's a beautiful state. And there's just so, I still want to retire in Chesapeake, Virginia. I really do. I'm just going to make sure that I don't drive anywhere.
I was going to say that, or you're going to have to make sure your registration's up to date.
My God. It's like, dude, it's a registration. You know how much the ticket is for registration in Virginia at that time?
$40.
Nope.
How much was it?
15.
Wow. That's crazy.
$15.
That's crazy.
And that dude, and listen, here's the funny thing.
you thought,
The second guy that pulled me over, the second state trooper, I don't care about that ticket, and I hate you, and I love Satan. It's something like that. I don't know. And
paraphrasing, of course.
People were flying by us at like 85 miles.
And he didn't care about that. And you're like, you realize they're going like 85 in a 65, and you don't care.
It's like, you caught me. You got me. I'm the scofflaw. You caught me.
It's so ridiculous.
But that's the state of Virginia. But yeah, so three.
Virginia is for lovers.
It's for
That guy was not giving some love.
He didn't love me.
I've never had that happen. So I've never had like expired tag. I've never had any of that stuff ever happen.
I never did again. Like, listen, you can't do renew for 2 now, but let me tell you something. If you could do renew for 10, my ass would be doing
Just
it.
go ahead and do it.
Here's $1,000. Here's $1,000. Just whatever.
We'll give you a discount for each year that you sign up. Oh, let me just take a decade.
Yeah.
No, I get that.
And again, I had it squared in 2 weeks.
No, right.
It was no big deal.
And it was fine. No, it's
I was
fine.
talking to people. Like, I was not trying to get away with anything.
Right.
It's like, there's circumstances here.
Well, and I think the first cop knew that too, because he's like, listen,
He did, yeah.
If you get pulled over again, probably not thinking the same day, but just in general, I've already talked about it. This is what he told me to do. And
it is funny because I did go to court for the first ticket, right?
Yeah.
And I did tell him about it. I told him like
what all had happened and stuff.
I said it like I was like talking and I'm like, yeah, it's all fixed now. And the judge was like, okay, well, I think we're good here. And just, whatever. And I said, can I talk to the officer? And he's like, well, of course. And I told him and he's like, oh my God, man. He was like, who pulled you over? And I'm like, I don't know. I didn't get names or badge. No, I don't know who he was, but dude, he was mad and didn't care that somebody else. And he's like, what a jackass. And I'm like, Hey.
And see, they're not all like that. That's the same thing.
No, this guy,
That's,
the first guy was nice, and then the other cop I actually knew.
Right.
So that was.
But still, yeah, the fact that it basically in a 6-hour time period or whatever, you got pulled over 3.
Yeah, like 8 hours.
I mean,
3
that's
times.
crazy.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
crazy.
Every
Yeah,
hour, 45 minutes, I'm getting pulled over.
You do have some unique stuff happening to you, man.
Listen, you name it.
That's
you name the weirdest thing that's possibly happened to somebody, and I'm probably in that mix for sure.
There you be. There you be.
Anyway, I don't even know how we got there, but that's some good cop stories for you. But I do have something to play for you.
I'm ready. We're talking about the clapping.
That's right.
the
So we got the
talking.
cops and all that stuff. So there used to be a morning show called Brook and Jubal in the morning.
Stop lying.
No. His name's Jubal.
No, it's not.
Yeah. So Brooke, now it's Brooke and Jeffrey or Jeff. Jubal left and he's doing his own thing. And they did some funny stuff on their
Where are they based out of?
I can't remember.
Brook and Jubal?
Yeah, Brooke and Jubal.
Like Jubilee.
Yeah, like Jubilee. Yeah.
Oh, I'm looking this up.
So you look it up while I'm telling everybody about.
Yeah.
So they used
hit
to,
me with some.
So they used to do this segment called Second Date Update.
Oh my God, Brook and Jubal in the morning.
Yeah. So the Second Date Update, here's what it was about. What would happen is if you went out with somebody, right, and you thought it went well, and that person hadn't called you back or responded to text or anything, right?
Yes.
After the date, you would call Brooke and Jubal, and then they would call the person for you on the air. And unbeknownst to the person that they were calling, you were also on the air listening to what they had to say. So let's say you and I went out on a date, which we do all the time.
That's right.
And I
You're out of
decided,
Chicago. There you
and you stopped, and you wouldn't call me back. I could call them and say, "Hey, can you call Doc and ask him why he's not calling me back?"
And that's part of what they
And so
do.
they would do that, and then I would be listening, and you wouldn't know, and then comedy ensues.
Which makes sense.
So this is a funny little thing that we'll probably feature on a couple of these shows because there's about 1,000 of these they did, and some of them are funny, and some of them are funnier. But this one kind of tickled me a little bit, so I thought I would play this one for you.
Oh, based in Seattle. I'm sorry, Seattle, Washington.
Oh, okay.
There you go.
Okay, yeah. So
The old Seattle spirit.
yeah, the old Seattle
Jubal.
spirit. But
Like
yeah.
Rubel.
So Brooke and Jubal in the morning. This is a second date update, this lady's a little crazy. So like all women are. Just kidding. Oh my God, just kidding.
We just lost somebody. Tokyo just fired us.
That's right. Germany will be in line with it, so it'll be fine.
It's all right. It's fine. It's fine.
9. That just means no, right? I don't know. I just get that from movies. That I watch.
Correct.
Is it no?
Yeah.
Oh, well, look at that. Look at that. I know German.
Yeah. Ja is yes.
Yeah, my ancestors are from Germany.
Mine too.
Yeah, look at that.
And Ireland.
Maybe we pollinated.
Pollinated. So.
And populated.
Brother from another mother.
Maybe. Here we go. Brooke and Jubal in the morning.
Brooke and Jubal.
Second date update. Here we go.
Hi, may I
Ready.
speak to Nico, please?
Speaking.
Hey, what's up, man? How are you? This is Jubal from Brook and Jubal in the morning.
Oh, okay.
Hi, Nico.
You know what that is?
I don't think so.
Okay, I'll tell you. Brook and Jubal in the morning. It's a radio show.
Okay.
Not a lot
Okay.
faces you. It sounds like. You get calls from radio stations all the time.
No, it's not just confused.
Okay,
Maybe he just has the same emotional range that you have, Jubal.
possible. Hey, Nico, I'm calling you today because we got an email about you from somebody that listens to our show.
Oh, well, what did it say?
Well, it said some very nice things. We do a segment on our show called the Second Date Update. It's where if you go out on a date with somebody and then don't call them back after, they can email us to get you on the phone to try to figure out what happened. And you recently went out with a girl named Kayla.
Oh. Yes, I did.
Yeah.
Yes, I did.
Well, Kayla emailed us because she said that she thought the date went great, but now you're not calling her back, and she wants to know
She
why.
said the date went great.
Yeah.
Yeah, was she wrong about that?
I just can't believe she remembers the date. She was on the phone the whole time.
She was on her phone the whole time, you said?
Oh, yeah. I mean, like, the whole date. She wasn't calling anybody, but she was, like, texting, I assume.
Okay.
I mean, it wasn't just, like, looking. It was, like, typing constantly. I mean, I don't know if she was texting.
I'll interrupt here for just a second. It gets stranger. It's not somebody texting and looking at their phone. That's one thing, right? This is beyond that.
Texting like a different guy or setting up like a date after mine or what, but it was distracting. Couldn't get a conversation in at all. It was rude.
All right.
It sounds like it.
Yeah, I mean, we talked to her about your date. She said that she actually had a great time and thought it was one of the best dates she's had.
That's impossible. I mean, she was. I mean, like the whole time she was typing. It was so weird. I think the weirdest part. So I thought, like, okay, well, this was a bust. She must have seen me, wasn't into me, doing something else. But then walking back to the car, she just like, I mean, out of nowhere, just kissed me.
Oh, she kissed you.
She kissed me.
What did you think about that?
I was shocked. Like, I wasn't even going to go for a kiss or even a hug. I thought this was going to be like a peace, whatever. Yeah. And all of a sudden she just like lunges at me, and I'm not going to say no.
Of course.
But I was just kind of like a mannequin, just kind of still let her do her thing.
She thought the kiss was great. She told us about that. She also thought that you kissed her.
Oh, that's impossible. Since I was stationary.
Love this guy. No, that's impossible.
I mean, if she hadn't been on her phone, were you attracted to her?
Yeah, she's definitely cute, but like all I really saw was her forehead because she was bent over texting the whole time.
Looking at her phone the whole time.
I was going to say, that's not
Your
terrible.
self-restraint that you didn't say anything on the date. I feel like I, at some point, would have been like, hey, can you put the phone away?
Eyes up here.
I'm just not that type of person. If that's your thing, you know, I'm not going to make a big deal about it. You do your thing, I'll eat this hamburger.
So basically your date was you hanging out with someone who was on their phone the whole time.
Yeah.
And then you were sexually assaulted after, which she kissed you.
I wouldn't say that. But,
and that's really why Jubal is no longer on the show.
Right.
Well, thanks for telling us why you don't want to call her back. I also should tell you this, though. She's actually on the other line listening and wants to talk to you.
Wait, what? No.
Yeah.
Did she hear what I just said?
Unless she was buried in her phone again, texting or something. I don't know. Kayla, are you still there?
Oh.
Yeah, Nico, I loved hanging out with you. I was so interested in the date. I really liked you.
How can you say that? You were typing the whole time.
Wait till you hear her
That's because
explanation.
I was taking notes about the date on my phone, so then I can transfer it into my relationship diary when I get home.
Wait,
That is so much right now.
wait, I'm very confused.
Yeah.
What do you mean you were taking, like, notes?
Yeah.
It's what I do. Every time I go on a date, I have this relationship diary because I want to write down, like, red flags and pluses and minuses about
Let me
the
tell you
date
something.
and
That's a
details
red
so that way
flag
I
for
can remember
Nico.
things.
Why? Do you have memory problems or something?
No,
this
I just
dude.
think it'll be really cute to like one day look back on it all and reminisce about everything.
Hey,
You
she,
thought she was being super rude, Nico. She was actually super listening to you.
True.
Yeah, but that's not normal. I've never gone on a date and the next day they're like, oh, did I have a good time on that date? I should have written it down.
And Kayla, I mean, you're listening, but you're not hearing what he's saying. Like, he thought you weren't into him because your face was buried into your phone screen the entire time. Don't you see that as a problem?
Brooke, back off. I'm talking to him about this, not you. I don't know why you just keep interrupting me.
I was
It's
trying
really
to
pissing
help.
me off. Like, I'm trying to get this across to him that, Nico,
oh,
I really
she
like you.
crazy.
She's crazy.
Okay. I guess that makes sense in a way.
Nico, I'll prove it to you. Here, the next thing, 8:35. You had showed me those pictures of your family, and I noted that your brothers are hot and that you guys have really good genes.
Oh, my God. That is so weird. That is so
No,
weird.
I wanted to take note that
Is
like
this
you are
real?
a good
Yeah,
person
it's
to
real.
have babies with.
Oh,
There you go.
God.
Sorry, thinking about babies.
That fast forwarded real quick.
You guys don't understand. These are things that everybody thinks of on a date, and like I'm just writing them down. I'm writing down the thoughts that everybody's thinking of anyway. That's the only difference. Don't you understand? Nico, you understand, right? Don't you understand?
No, none of this makes sense to me. Why are you saying my brothers are hot? Why are you saying you want to have babies with me? I mean, I don't even think we made eye contact for this entire date.
Nico, you are taking this way out of context. Like, I'm documenting this because one day you're going to appreciate all the details that I put down here in
my
this diary,
goodness.
and you're going to look back on it and be like,
This
wow,
is
she's awesome that she wrote all this down
bad.
and that she did that, and we can look at this together.
There you go. Yeah, what do you think, Nico? You want a second date with Kayla? We'll pay for it. Go on a second date, make some babies?
Date?
Yeah.
How do you? I mean, so she can finish this novel she's writing about our. This is the weirdest thing.
If it makes you feel better, Nico, it's not just about you. She does it for every date she goes on.
That makes it even worse. Like a serial killer. I'm scared, frankly. I'm worried.
Okay, that seems a little...
Come on, Nico, that's not fair. And Brooke, you are not helping things.
What do you think, Nico?
Trying.
Will you go out with her one more time?
Brooke is the only one making sense right now. I wish Brooke had been there on the date to tell you to get out of your phone.
Fine. I won't even bring my phone on the next date. Are you happy?
There you go, Nico.
Are you going to take notes with like a pen and paper instead? Or
Yeah, whatever. I'll just write it down. I won't use my phone at all. I'll use the napkin next to me. God.
Yeah, she'll take notes the
No,
old-fashioned
thank you.
way, Nico. Would you go on a second date with her? We'll pay for it.
Look, I think you're very attractive, and
Shut up. I know what you're trying to do. And, like, it's not. You're just sugarcoating it, and this is bull. And, like, just get to the point.
I think that your intentions are sweet, but what you're
Nico,
doing,
I'd get to the point before she stabs
Yeah.
you. I think what he's trying to get
Oh
at
my
is a no.
God.
Is it a no, Nico?
yeah, that's a hard no.
Hard
It's
no.
a hard no.
Kayla.
Did you learn anything from this experience?
The only thing I learned here, Brooke, was not to trust you with anything. I mean, Jesus.
Whoa.
You have done nothing for me.
Well,
I'm trying to help you. I swear.
sorry, Kayla. No second date.
I hate your show. Especially when Brooke's on. I'm never listening again.
All right. Well, but can I read? I want to read your journal sometime. Can I just read it?
No, you, Jubal.
Okay.
Bye, Kayla.
Yeah.
You sarcastic piece
I actually wasn't being sarcastic. I really do want to read it.
Whatever. Jubal, I'll give you like $20 if you just slap Brooke across the face right now.
I'll only do that if you're in here journaling because I want to see what you say about it.
That is the most messed up thing.
Brooke and Jubal in the morning, no
that I
longer
have-
a radio show.
Well, and you wonder why. Oh, wow.
Totally sounds like something I would have done when I was on the air, though.
Wow.
Without question.
The fact that
There's some really good ones, too. That's just one.
that is messed up. That just shows you how crazy people are in this world.
God.
I mean, that's crazy.
I had a stalker once.
Did you really?
Yeah, I did. I know you look at me and you're like, Dave, you're not good looking enough to have a stalker, but I did.
No, I'm trying to just
Dave,
picture
you're short
picture
and ugly.
the dynamics of that.
She would just show up everywhere I was.
I mean, that'd be
I mean, like I'm at a mall, and again, I lived in an area
that'd probably do it.
back in the old Commonwealth. You know, I lived in an area where, like, if you went to the mall,
Yeah.
that was a 45-minute drive. Right, like it wasn't a 10-minute
Right.
skip down the
right.
street.
So basically to keep showing up at similar places,
yeah,
you really were planning to be there at the same time.
yeah. I mean, you know, I go to Transsexual Satan Worshipers Anonymous, and there she was. You know, just weird places like that. But I think that was a Maury, right? Transsexual Satan Worshipers. Yeah, but no, she was like, it got odd, man. It got really odd really fast. Like she was she was, and she wasn't a stalker like I was scared of.
No, I understand.
You know what I mean? Like
But-
she was just,
But she was arranging
she didn't understand when I said,
meetings
yeah,
as if,
we're done.
as if they were chance.
Yeah, I'm like, we're done. And she's not hearing it. So yeah,
That's not so good.
I finally had to say, please stop calling me. Please stop following me.
Yeah, please stop showing up where I'm at.
Yes.
Because I'm not inviting you. And this is not. This
I
is
have
not
an
what we-
airborne disease that you will catch if you get close enough. But, yeah. But some people are just crazy. But doesn't that sound like a Seattle thing? Now that I know they're out in Seattle, doesn't that sound like a relationship journal?
There's just some crazy,
Relationship journal. Did you ever keep one, Doc? A relationship journal?
negative, sir.
No.
No.
The only journal I read when I was younger in that age was
notes like that.
was the like the letters to like Penthouse Forum. Oh my God. I used to read those. 'Cause those were true, right?
Well, yeah. So there I was.
There I was.
And I
cabin.
said, I can't even, oh my God.
I was in a cabin with 6 girls. And their names all rhyme. Candy, Brandy, Mandy, Sandy,
Tandy and Andy.
Andy, and Andy. And they were dirty with an I.
And you just wonder who, oh God, we got to go. We got to get off of this. Speaking
People are nuts.
of inaugural moments and crazy things.
Yes.
Daddy's home.
My boy's back in the White House.
As of Monday.
And how about this? So it's funny. I was listening to who was it? Somebody was interviewing somebody about Bill O'Reilly. And they were asking him about Trump, and he's known Trump for years.
Sure.
and disagreed with a ton of stuff that Trump has said and done or whatever. But he was talking
I don't
about
really like
Trump.
Bill O'Reilly.
I don't either.
I don't like him.
But he was talking about Trump and he said, and this meshes so well with what we've seen in the first week of him being president again.
Yeah.
Is his work ethic. He's like, this guy sleeps 3 hours a night, if.
Oh, yeah.
And like he's just working all the time and he never stops.
Yeah. Well, it's like Rogan saying, he wasn't drinking any water.
No.
They had like a 4-hour podcast. He didn't pee before the podcast.
No.
He didn't pee during the podcast.
Yeah.
And he didn't pee after the podcast.
Yeah, Rogan was like,
And he's like, are you okay? He's like, yeah, I'm good.
Rogan's like, I just kept waiting for him to say, hey, let's take a quick break because like I needed to. And he's just kept going. Rogan's like, all right, if 45 is going to roll, I'll roll with 45. Now 47. But yeah, but apparently his work ethic is unbelievable. And you've kind of seen that where like he gets inaugurated and then he's signing all these executive orders. And again, those are ready for him to sign. I'm not saying.
No, I mean, right. I mean, they're definitely, they were prepared for what was going on. But no, I mean, that is something that you have historically always heard is how much he does work.
Yeah. I mean, today was no different. Like he left Andrews Air Force Base, went to North Carolina, spent some time in North Carolina, then landed in L.A., hours and hours later, the wildfires and everything there. So like that's an 8 hour. Well, no, if you're in the air the whole time, it's about a 6 hour flight though.
Right.
Maybe Air Force
in luxurious accommodations.
Yeah, I mean, like if he wanted to
could take
a
a nap on the plane in a king size suite.
That's true. He's got a bed. Yeah, so in there.
But I doubt it. I doubt he.
I don't think he did either.
I doubt he did. I bet he was working on mess the whole time.
Yeah, I just think he's one of those people that's what he lives for. Is just to work. I mean, agree with his politics or not. I mean, the dude's got a work ethic. I mean,
was he 78?
Yeah, dude's 78. I get tired watching him.
Yeah, but they just. He's made differently. That's just part of it.
Yeah. He definitely is.
So so big things.
Yeah. So
inauguration, all the things.
And one of the first things he did was declassify the documents or release all the documents because apparently when we're talking about JFK, MLK, and then Bobby Kennedy, or affectionately known as RFK,
Robert.
But apparently he released some of those. And said he stopped. He told Joe Rogan this. He's like, I stopped because I'm like, I don't know if people are ready for this. He's like, I read it. And then Biden released a little more, but kind of did the same thing. Biden's like, I don't know. And so Trump, that was one of the first things he said he was going to. He told Rogan he was going to do. He's like, yeah, I'm going to release them all. I'm declassifying all of it. It's all out there. So it's like, okay, cool. So that's what he said he was going to do. So I'm really interested in, and again, I love a good conspiracy. I love me a good conspiracy. And, we've all thought it was Lyndon Johnson that had it done. But I don't know if those documents are going to say anything like that, though.
I doubt it. I think, because there still may be some redactions and different things. But, one of the things that has always come up is whether it was mob related or whatever the scenario was, but there was, it was definitely a hit was put on.
Yeah.
And Lee Harvey Oswald obviously was not acting alone, regardless of what anybody, you found a pristine bullet, so there's so much in there that there's just no way. But the big thing is that there was some sort of, potential, I guess, illegal activity going on or something to the effect of that. And basically a mob hit or whatever was ordered on JFK. And that's what happened. And did LBJ have something to do with it? Right. And that's what,
And Oswald, they did the paraffin test on him, right? And there was no gun residue.
Right.
None.
Right.
And again, people swore they heard more than one. Again, it's like the whole thing was just
the way the
riddled
bullet allegedly,
the magic bullet
curved,
stops in midair and turns around,
and the fact that it was a pristine bullet laying on the gurney.
Yeah,
and it's like, no, that's not what if you've ever seen a bullet that's impacted something, that's not what it looks like.
No,
So yeah, that's So that's going to be interesting. I think there'll be probably more outrage even with MLK stuff, just because, you'll be able to see everything that really occurred with all that.
Yeah.
James Earl Ray, all the things. Anyway, so it'll be interesting to see kind of what becomes of all of that. But also too, it's probably time. I mean, for those things, I would
think so.
With all the other things that are out there, but I mean, it will be interesting too. Just I mean, what all do we read when we read it?
Yeah, I mean, again, I'll probably take a day off work just so I can read it all because I get excited about that stuff. But I love good conspiracy, and you
can put in a PDF and send it to me.
I will.
That would be fantastic. Yes.
Can you tell me how to do that? Okay.
Right.
I don't know how to do this.
So go to Save As, and you save as the PDF, or you hit to export in PDF format.
Mm-hmm. There's all kinds of ways you can do that too. And like, there's different PDF readers.
Oh, look at you.
Everybody thinks there's just one, but there's many. There's many free ones.
You got to have the Adobe.
Yeah, no, don't have to have Adobe.
Got to have Adobe Acrobat. You can't read it.
Now, the Adobe product's a fine product, I will say. It's a very fine product. I use one of their products, as a matter of fact, for this very podcast.
Boom.
Yes. Adobe Audition. I've used it for years, being in radio, and still use it to this day. Other people use other stuff, and other people are fucking stupid. Adobe Audition is just the best. I'm sorry. I'm just sorry. I'm sorry.
You're sorry they're not using it.
I'm sorry that they don't understand why they're not using it. That's the problem.
You better use the best.
You better use the best. Because if you want a voice to sound this buttery smooth
on the Shure SMC,
like this guy,
Mike.
Remember, folks, I did a liquid plumber commercial.
WRIC.
WRIC, the station where rock and roll lives. Ted Nugent, he's got a disease. It's cat scratch fever coming at ya. It's Friday night rock and roll. Everybody's hiring
103. That's right. That's right.
Oh, gosh.
Oh, man.
So I'm perusing the internet, as I like to do. And when I'm done with porn, I like to look at sports stuffs. Stuff, not stuffs. Sorry, I was conflating the two. And
after I stuff my own stocking, I like to move on to some sports.
Stuff some stockings.
As everybody likes to.
You know, it was funny, too, because I didn't realize it was time for the NBA All-Star game.
Yeah.
And I started thinking, I'm like, oh, I guess it is.
But nobody cares.
And like, people were talking about
really.
like they're going to do the slam dunk contest, and it's nobody that anybody knows. And it's like, why do you do it? And like, and then so it led to a couple. And so like, I did watch some stuff from that evil network, ESPN,
dun, dun, dun.
And some other networks too, talking about the NBA and how low their ratings were. Now, again, they just signed a contract for like 11 years for like billions and billions of dollars with networks or whatever. So they have revenue there, but I bet there's some revenue clauses in their contract that they have to do well enough, because I mean, if the Nielsen ratings start tanking,
right, I'm sure,
then Charles Barkley's going to say, "That's terrible. That's terrible."
That's right.
And so apparently their ratings are down 47%.
Wow.
And I don't know if that's cumulative or just this year, but regardless, 47%, because the game. Here's how the game goes. You don't play defense and you shoot threes.
That's right. 1 pass, 2 pass, 3 pass, if you're lucky.
Yeah.
3 ball.
And it's a 3.
We have a drive to the basket. Kick it back out for 3.
Kick it out for 3. And
don't try to take it in and see if you get fouled or try to finish.
No.
We don't do that.
And if you look at
we got to kick it out, shoot the 3.
This was interesting, and I have to send this to you. I found it, but it was like a thing about the average points per game. Mm-hmm. Over the course of like the last 30 years.
Yeah.
When the Bulls were winning all their championships, when I argue the game was at its best, the average points per game. Now, this is all teams.
Understand.
It's like 96 points a game.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And people were complaining then that was getting a little high. I mean, it's like 118 now.
Because nobody plays defense.
Because nobody plays defense.
And that's why you would not beat Jordan.
No, of course not.
And the Bulls.
No, you wouldn't. And it's just
not going to happen.
And listen, I love watching Steph Curry because I mean the way he shoots the ball is
excellent.
amazing.
No.
He might be the best
doubt.
Pure shooter I've ever seen.
That even Jordan says that.
Yeah,
pure shooter.
That's it.
That's it.
Not a good defender.
No.
And I mean, again, like
And if they played the '90s Bulls. He would never get under 90s rules where you could touch him, you could hand check and stuff.
Yeah,
he ain't never gonna see it because he's gonna have to deal with Harper. He's going to have to deal some with Jordan. And if they're really mad, they'll put Scotty on him, who's 4 inches taller. And he's just not going to be able to do anything.
No.
So, I mean, it's not going to happen. Draymond, Rodman's going to knock his teeth down his throat because he's a wuss.
Yeah.
I hate him so much. And I'm like, if you had to go up against Dennis Rodman or anybody of any annoyance who's actually tough, you're nothing.
No.
I mean, Steve Kerr can shoot the lights out, man.
Yeah.
He's a little liberal for my taste, but I mean,
a little.
Oh, it's bad. But you know what I'm saying? I mean, and they held up. There was a statistic the other day I saw. It was like supporting cast, and it showed like Jordan's supporting cast versus the people that LeBron has had. Like always, multiple people averaging 20 points a game. Scottie Pippen averaged like 17, and then like everybody else was in like the less than 10.
Yeah,
and that was Jordan's supporting cast. You see what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
So I mean, there's no comparison. You're never going to convince me. You're just not. And that was when Michael Jordan. So Magic and Bird began what it is. Michael championed it.
Yeah,
and made it appealing to everybody.
Yeah.
And then things are cool for a while, but now it's chuck up a three, chuck up another three, chuck up another three. They can't shoot worth a crap. And it's just ugly ball.
Yeah, I mean, if I shot 40 3-pointers in a game, I think my percentage might be okay.
Right. Especially when nobody's playing really good defense.
No.
It's it's just ugly to watch.
I can't watch it anymore.
No, it's terrible.
I just can't watch it anymore.
It's terrible.
I forgot the Celtics won last year. Like, I remember, like, I was watching something that are like, and even when the Celtics won the championship, like, oh, that's right, they did.
They did. Because it doesn't matter. Because
it's like, I can probably tell you every team that's ever won the Super Bowl from 1 all the way to 58. But NBA champions,
it's not the same. It's not the same thing. It's ugly. It's
and
ugly.
Again, it was still watchable when Kobe was playing. It was still watchable. Even after Kobe, it was still a little watchable. But then the whole LeBron James experiment, and I just can't do it anymore. Like, I just can't force myself to watch. I have no idea who's doing well. I don't know what the records are. I mean, I just can't watch it anymore.
Here's what I'm going to say. You can say what you want. LeBron has this record and that record and all the things. He's played for 800 seasons. I mean, if Michael Jordan plays the equivocal amount, LeBron James doesn't come close to even touching any of those records. Yeah. That's the thing that drives me nuts.
Yeah.
Is if that had been the case, and if he doesn't leave for 2 years, I really believe if they keep the team intact, Chicago wins 8 championships in a row.
I
don't care what anybody says.
I don't know how you beat that team.
And if he'd come back earlier in that 95 season,
I think
I think they would have won then.
I agree.
And that was another turning point, because you see that in The Last Dance, and they lose to the Pacers and all that, and blah blah. I think it was the Pacers. I can't remember who it was. Anyway, maybe it was the Magic. Whoever they lost to. Anyway, I think it was the Pacers. But they lose, and they're talking about it, and so Michael's trainer's there, Jordan's trainer's there, and he said, "Hey, Mike, I'm getting ready to get out of here, and when do you want to see me?" And he said, "Well, I'll see you tomorrow."
Yeah.
The day after they lose in the conference finals.
Yeah.
Because he knew, and of course, because he couldn't stand lose, the motivational factor of that. I'm not going on vacation because I'm going to show all of you that this was bullcrap and we're going to win again.
Yeah.
And they won 3 more in a row.
Yeah.
LeBron James doesn't have that. I'm sorry. He's a hard worker. You don't get me wrong. You have to take your talent and extremely hard worker, but it's not the same. Roy Williams said there's only one guy that could turn it on and off, and it was Michael Jordan, and Michael Jordan never turned it off.
He was the guy that people were afraid to trash talk, and if you did, somebody would stop you. It's like, no.
Right.
Don't get him mad.
Don't make Black Jesus mad. Yeah. Reggie Miller tells those stories that he said they played a preseason game, and
don't ever talk.
He said I had like 17 in the first half. Michael had 10, and we're talking crap, and second half he comes out looking at me. He said Michael finished with 40.
Yep. And
I had 19, and at the end of the game he looks over and goes something to the effect of, "Be aware that you should never talk smack to Black Jesus."
Yes. Right.
Don't you know better? And he said, so I never referred to him as Michael Jordan. It was either Jordan, that black cat or Black Jesus forevermore. So I never called him Michael Jordan again. It was Black Jesus, the black cat, or Jordan.
I heard somebody on a podcast talking about LeBron James, and they said he was the Jerry Rice of the NBA, and I almost threw up.
Oh my
For lots of
God.
reasons.
First of all,
For lots of reasons.
oh,
It's like, let me tell you something. Jerry Rice might have been the greatest football player to ever play, period. He's definitely the greatest wide receiver to ever play. I don't even know how that's even...
that's not, there's no debate. I don't
don't
think anybody debates that.
I don't either.
And I don't think you'll ever.
And when the NFL voted several years ago on the top 100 players of all time, Jerry Rice was unanimous. Like, as number one, it's like, that's not even... It's Jerry Rice.
Yeah.
It's like people that like worked
What's
out...
Jerry eating? Jerry's eating rice.
Right? Christian McCaffrey, who looks good sitting on that chair because that's all he can do because he can't stay on the field.
It's terrible.
But yeah, it's not even just the LeBron James thing. It's just like, I really want to watch the NBA. I want to be a fan again, but I just can't be.
They've got it, but they're going to have to change.
It's just awful.
Something's going to have
Take
to
the
change.
3-point line away. Take it away.
Yeah.
Just take it away.
Something. And Silver has said that they're looking at that.
Yeah.
But it's just annoying. I mean, it is, because they're just chucking up crap, and it's just, it's ugly. It's just an ugly game. Here's the thing. Those guys can play some ball, man.
Of course they can.
I mean, they're playing at the highest level. I mean, they can play some ball, but it's turning to a...
There is nothing better going into mid to late March into April watching the college basketball tournament.
Absolutely.
That is some of the best
March
TV
Madness. Yeah, absolutely.
that you will ever watch.
Absolutely. And that is still maintained. I mean, NIL is trying to ruin all of college sports, but
Yeah.
But I mean, if you're watching, you're still seeing some really good games, and you're even getting the mid majors coming out for various things within the basketball world.
Mm-hmm.
How about that SEC?
One of us
Took the dive in the football, though, which I know we won't talk about that, but doing pretty dang good in the basketball. Got some good coaches, and of course baseball. But what we really want to get to, I know, because you want to talk about some. We'll talk about a little SEC football.
I
and
love
little national championship.
I just love the
That
people.
it just means more.
Here's what's funny. And I know you well enough to know that you're a football fan and but there are some people that believe that just believe the SEC is the only conference and
Well, it is.
no one else should be playing football.
No.
Well, if that was the case, we wouldn't have had a game on Monday night. Just throwing that out there. Because, and again, what I
That was rough
said
too, man. 'Cause
and
I don't really like either one of them.
what I said several weeks ago is just ringing so true. And I love being right because I just do. But
You thought you were wrong once.
yeah, I did. But then I proved myself right.
That's right.
And I was upset with myself because I was wrong that I was right. What? And I said when Saban left, I'm like, watch out, because you watch what happens to the SEC, because that is a generational coach. It's one of the greatest coaches of all time.
Absolutely. Yes.
One of the
and it's, I mean, that's undisputed as well.
And yeah, one of the greatest coaches of all time. And
If not the greatest.
if not the greatest.
I mean,
I mean, it's hard to argue.
he's in the conversation.
Of course
There's
he
no
is.
doubt. There is no doubt.
And I mean, if there was a college Mount Rushmore,
Oh, yeah.
Mount Mushmore.
Much.
No, officer, I haven't had a thing.
I just turned right 600 yards from the light. I was just trying to turn right at the light.
But if there was, I mean, his face is
no, he's on there.
it, right?
And that's undisputed
Yeah.
again. Yes.
So when somebody like that leaves a conference, and I don't care what conference it is, and again, the people that love to talk about the SEC, I've talked about this before, and like nobody else ever wins championships in football other than the SEC. It's like you probably need to crack a history book to begin with. But have they been dominant in the last 10, 15, 20 years? Absolutely they have. But you know when that started? Let's see. Let me carry the one. I think around
Florida.
2006, 2007.
It was Timmy Tebow.
Yeah. Yeah. That illegal shit. That dipshit's running down there. What a dumbass. I want to take time for my family. I'm the new coach of Ohio State. I want to take time for my family. I'm the new coach of the Jacksonville Jaguars. I want to take time for my family and have sex with that whore. Now I'm back on the air.
Now, she was just grinding on him.
Yeah. She was hot. I mean, good for him. But I'm just saying, I'm just throwing it out there. She was. It's like, you got to know there's cameras everywhere, dude. And you're at your bar that you own.
At your bar. Right.
Dude, you got to have a back office. Didn't you ever watch The Sopranos?
Right.
Come on. We got a business meeting back here. That's just me and this girl. Whatever. But yeah, so when you have somebody like Saban that shows up with his credentials, he'd already won a championship at LSU, and a lot of coaching, trees happened. Les Miles won a national championship. Right. Jimbo Fisher won a national championship. A lot of coaching pedigree came from that. When somebody like that retires, it changes things. You take that, and then now with the transfer portal, I can't even say transfer portal. Good God, what was wrong? Am I having a stroke?
I mean,
it smells like cinnamon in here. No, is it
almonds?
cinnamon?
Do you smell almonds?
Is it almonds?
Almonds is cyanide. Yeah, almonds.
I actually don't even know what almonds smell like. So if I ever say that, something's gonna be weird. Coconut.
What the line?
Coconut. So this is what happens when we've had Monster late at night.
Right? I know, right?
So
2 of them.
So I mean, he leaves, and then like the NIL money starts coming in, the transfer portal starts happening, and players are able to move in and out. And then you see what you saw this year, and the dominance. I mean, I'm not going to say it's dead, and they're not going away, because that's some very great traditionally great football programs.
And I mean, we did have 3 teams in the thing.
I mean, there's 12 teams.
You know,
wasn't like it was 3. It was like there was 12 damn teams that got in the thing. But I mean, again, like your powerhouse is like Bama that you just expect to be there.
Sure.
No,
it was the landscape different. And I think, I mean, even your boy Paul Feinbaum was talking about, kind of Big Ten kind of owning college football.
Yeah.
I mean, it's very much different. Obviously, very, very different for Alabama. But I mean, I don't know what these people were expecting. You know what I mean? I mean, you can't
replace.
No, and he's not him.
No.
And that's okay.
Yeah.
But they forgot. I mean, you didn't invent football. And there are some other dadgum good teams that are out there. It wasn't Florida State, unfortunately.
No.
Wow.
No.
Him's on a short leash for next year. But I mean, again, ACC kind of down again.
Yeah.
They were. Just kind of, SMU didn't really have a tough schedule to get there. I mean, Clemson wins. Kind of underwhelming, though.
I think that's on its way down.
I mean, I'm glad because my dad graduated from Clemson, so I mean, he's rest his soul. But so I kind of do pull for Clemson.
Yeah.
But again, kind of underwhelming.
Yeah.
And I don't know it. But yeah, I mean,
it's going to look
SEC down, and kind of that fear factor, or whatever you want to say. Just you're right, it just wasn't there. This year. It just wasn't there this year. That's true. That is true.
Yeah, and I mean, I think this is what we're going to see for the next little bit. I mean, I really do. I think and it depends on other teams too. I mean, how they do. I mean, you can't expect USC to be bad forever. Right. I mean,
you talk about somebody that underperformed this year.
Yeah.
He's on a short leash too.
He's definitely,
because they regressed tremendously.
Yeah.
And that's bad. Yeah. They just looked awful
because they recruit wonderfully.
Right.
Everybody wants to go play there.
Supposedly. Right. Yeah. Right.
But
Ohio State recruits wonderfully.
Well, I mean, when you got a checkbook,
$20 million or whatever their roster is.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they're having to work now because apparently Jeremiah Smith has a $4.5 million NIL deal from another school for him to jump in the transfer portal. 4.5 plus, allegedly, to jump in. So Ohio State trying to negotiate to keep him around.
I need to write my boy in the White House. Say, Big Don.
Hey, wouldn't it be? Hey, I would not surprise me at all. I mean, NCAA has talked about, kind of doing some changes for the betterment of everything. So, I mean, it wouldn't surprise me at all if somebody jumped in there, especially with him now, with the Donald being back in the office. You're going to kind of have to respect what's happening now.
I kind of think that maybe they should just say, we're not doing it anymore. Because that's what they did to start it. They just said, okay, cool. Yeah. And put no real rules.
Right. And that's the problem. There's no rules.
And then all of a sudden it was like, whoa, what are we doing? It's like, well, I mean, you opened the gates, man.
Right. You let the horse out, and it's wild as can be, and now you're trying to corral something that you didn't understand to begin with.
And you just jump in the pool and cool off.
So you were underwhelmed by the SEC.
You didn't even catch that, did you?
Huh? Put up in the pool and cool off.
Yeah. That's what you do. You corral them in. Wear the little hat.
Oh, my God. Oh, Dave.
No splash, because you got practice diving. I mean, there's nothing else going on.
Right.
What are you going to do? You dive in a pool. That's what I would do.
Who needs a shower?
Who needs a shower? Good Lord, we went way over, but I can't let you go until we talk about the NFL. The playoffs are this weekend.
Moving on from the SEC, piss on them per Dave.
Yeah,
Dave, man, piss on the SEC.
The SEC will be fine, folks, but just you folks that just say it just means more. Maybe it doesn't mean as much as you thought it did. But sure, and maybe I'm just bitter. I wouldn't rule that out.
Could be a possibility. Again, but the big thing affected by Saban leaving.
Of course,
and that just
and I mean, it seemed so obvious to me when he left. I'm like, uh-oh. Like, this is going to be big because people wanted to go play for him regardless of NIL money.
Right. And it made a difference with rivalries because you're playing Saban. Mm-hmm. I mean, a lot of things. And so, because
half of those people coached with him.
That's
and it's like they want to try to beat him.
That's right. No, I think that's, So we know how that ended up. But, playoffs? Talking about playoffs?
Yeah, I mean,
come on.
We started...
Don't talk about playoffs? You kidding me?
My team that I picked was not in the playoffs at all because they got injury riddled and all the things. Dirty Ho 49ers. Dadgummit.
You'll love her tulips. That's what it says. It's they have a flower garden there. It's what it says.
Rock the Dirty Ho. You'll love her tulips, Dave and Doc.
49ers. ZZ Top Eliminator.
ZZ Top Eliminator 49ers.
Steve Young.
There it
Seinfeld.
is. Number 8.
And you guys can't even see most of the stuff in here. There's other shit in here too.
Ain't it great?
So we both picked the Bills, though.
I know.
So that's a possibility. Now they're going to be playing. You ready? You ready for I'm coining the phrase.
I'm ready for.
Here we go.
Drum roll.
The Bills will be at Arrowhead playing the Kansas City Thieves.
Copyright that right now.
Copyright Dave and Doc podcast. 2025.
January 2025.
I mean, when it's so bad that ESPN is talking about it,
right?
And they worship the NFL,
right?
It's bad.
Yes.
So obviously,
yes.
Obviously, the officiating has been terrible, and a lot of people say the Bills are playing the NFL this weekend because there is no bigger hard-on for the Kansas City Chiefs than Roger Goodell's.
Oh, yeah.
That hard-on has been raging for years.
Golly.
He just walks around stiff. That's why he's smiling all the time. He's a billionaire, but that's not why he's happy, folks. He's just stiffing it up because he's got Taylor Swift fans watching games now. And every time the NFL does any kind of Instagram post, Taylor Swift's attached to it and all this stuff. And, we love that. And we love the Kelseys, which I'm so fucking tired of the Kelseys.
You know what I love? When the Manning cast had Bill Belichick on there and they showed Taylor Swift again and unprompted, he goes, oh. And the face, Eli's face, you should look that up. His face when that happens. And of course, Peyton's just trying not to die. But Eli's like,
because Belichick doesn't give a shit.
He goes, oh. It's just
care.
Pure disgust. It's the best thing. Say what you will, but I mean that's pretty awesome, and that's who he is. Say what you want. Bill Belichick is about as true as you're ever going to find.
Oh yeah, that's yeah.
But it is, It's the Swifties. It's all the bull crap. It's 8 men, hairy ass Kelsey bull crap. they're parlaying that into their fortune. Jason Kelsey's wife has a podcast now. I'm like, why? I mean, we have a podcast, but I mean, she's trying to interview Michelle Obama and all this bullshit. And I'm like, what?
Soon to be single, Michelle.
That's
what everybody's saying.
Wouldn't that be some
people are in the know?
Wouldn't that be
saying there's been trouble in paradise for about a year?
Well, can you imagine?
Did you hear who he might be dating?
No.
Did you not hear this?
No, I did see that about the rumors that their relationship was.
But do you know why? Because apparently he's been going out with somebody else. She's a good friend who will be there for you.
Jennifer Aniston? Stop!
I'm not joking.
What?
Totally serious.
No.
Again, I don't know and don't really care. But
I mean, Jennifer Aniston's pretty.
I mean, yeah.
No.
He
is not a good-looking dude. No.
No, but he's got some cash.
She has more money than him?
Yeah, but he's a powerful dude, though. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he's like Jennifer Aniston can't make phone calls and, shut down the border or something.
Well, neither can his dumb ass.
Well, he didn't know how. Trump did it in about 8 seconds.
I was going to say, he said, and we've changed.
Yeah, the funniest tweet that came out that says, "Oh, Trump did this in like 2 hours." I guess it wasn't that hard, Joe.
Right.
Because Joe said it. He said, well, it's very difficult just to close the border and all this. Trump said, "Yep, do it. It's done." Yep. Anyway, but yeah, so they're cashing in on the Taylor Swift stuff, all this stuff, and again, I mean,
it's pretty blatant. And then Mahomes like, "Oh no, they don't call it different for us."
Some of those calls against the Texans. Let me tell you something. The Texans outplayed them. They flat outplayed.
They should have won,
and they should have won the game.
And I'm afraid this was going to happen this week.
I am too. And again, they're only favored by 1.5 because Vegas likes to do that. But I think you got to give them at least 6 because the officials. Mm-hmm. And I don't know. Every time we have a game like this, and every time we talk about the Chiefs and the officiating, and I will say this. I mean, in the Super Bowl last year, which I don't like to talk about, I will say that the officiating was not terrible. Okay. There was a few calls that I thought was a little like, but okay. The only thing that I thought was terrible are about the 8 plays that I counted. I mean, what do I know? That the 49ers defensive line was just getting, like Bosa's jersey was almost turned completely around once.
Right. And they're not.
And there's an official right there.
They're not calling the holds.
And one of those may or may not have been the game-winning touchdown throw. I'm just throwing that out there.
Now, there's holding on every play.
Of course
there's penalties on every play.
Well, I coached kids, and I've coached them to hold.
But I mean, if you've turned his jersey around, you probably need to call.
You coach the kids.
There's a few things you should probably call, and that's probably one of
the
the
ones. To grab
ones.
the outside of the front of the pads and keep your elbows in and drive them around. And they're like, "Isn't that holding?" Yes, but that's legal holding.
Right.
When they pull away, you got to let go, and you can't reach.
Yes.
They'll never call this.
No, elbows in, got into their chest. It's when you get outside, or if you don't let them go when they try to move around, they will throw the flag every time.
We even told them to grab nipples. We did. I'm not kidding. Yeah.
Armageddon.
There's a reason why there's a reason there's like championship trophies up there. We played dirty and tough.
Just grab them in the biscuits.
That's right. But we both picked the Bills to be in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
So we still might win. So we might get there. So let me do this first.
I may have to go. There's possibility.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, you said that's right. You made the.
That's right. So we may end up.
We all might end up in New Orleans.
In the Nolans.
Eagles and Commanders. Let's start with that one.
Okay.
They are the Commanders, right? Is that right?
Yes.
The fucking name changes.
Yes. No longer the Redskins. Washington Commanders. W as their logo.
Whatever,
man.
Let me tell you something. Jaden Daniels is for real.
They may get him.
They're playing with house money.
Hurts' knee is messed up,
and he has no personality.
His affect is pretty flat.
But I hate the Eagles.
Well, that's an easy.
I mean, I hate the Eagles. but I'm gonna pick this game,
Okay.
and this score is gonna blow you away.
Okay.
13-10. Defensive game, turnovers galore. Commanders 13-10. Only 23 points. One of those tight ball games and a field goal in the end.
Wow.
Yeah.
So I agree with who you got winning. I think there's going to be more points than that, though.
Very well could be.
I'm thinking I'm going to go 30-27.
Yeah.
Late field goal wins it on a Jaden Daniels drive, but 27 all late in the game. Philly has a turnover. Daniels takes them down. They kick a field goal.
I hope so.
And win 30-27.
I hope so.
That's what I think is going to happen. And how about them apples?
How about them apples?
Change ownership, get Dan Snyder's sorry butt out of there. Dan Quinn comes in. You got Jaden Daniels, and he got, Eckler. I mean, he got, Zach Ertz. A lot of people had cast them aside.
And Eckler's a stud.
And he picked up veteran players for a cultural shift.
That's what you do.
With the team. I'm like, that's brilliant.
With a young talent like
That's
Daniels.
brilliant,
Yeah.
Dan Quinn.
That's what you do.
And let's not forget, when Seattle whooped that ass on the Broncos, Dan Quinn was the defensive coordinator.
Yeah. That's why I'm saying 13-10.
It could happen.
I think he's going to shut them down.
It'll be interesting. If they really shut them down, they may blow them out. But I think it's going to be a tight game. I just think there's two. I think it'll be a tight game either way. But I think a field goal wins it. I just think there will be more points scored.
Now, the game of the week, the Buffalo Bills with Josh Allen and those assholes in Kansas City. I'm sorry, the Thieves. I'm sorry, the Chiefs.
The Chiefs, Kansas City. Man, last time they played in the championship game, 42-36, Chiefs in overtime, right?
It's like 17 overtimes or something.
Yeah, it was like 2021, I think, is when they played.
It was ridiculous.
Whatever
one of the greatest games.
42-36.
One of the greatest games ever played.
Had the Bills won that one, I think they would have won their Super Bowl. And that's like the curse. They're like cursed. It is so much like that. Interesting the other day, just by chance, I was just kind of going through stuff on the TV. I don't watch a lot of TV, but it was actually when I was doing my colonoscopy prep at 3 a.m. And Four Falls of Buffalo was on.
Oh God, it's so heartbreaking.
And so I started watching it.
God, it's so.
And then, of course, I got interrupted, obviously, because that's what happens. But but watching that, and I was like, oh man, it's almost like it's destiny.
Yeah.
But then you see that, and you're like, they did it 4 times.
Yeah.
And their best chance was the first one when Norwood misses that kick.
Yeah, because they weren't in any of those other games.
Just by a smidge, too. 47-yarder, cold, or whatever. Whatever was...
Wide right.
Wide right.
Yeah.
Anyway. So let me tell you how this goes. Yeah. So my brain says, you smart man's going to pick the Chiefs. Mm-hmm. And it's going to be, I think it'll be another high-scoring game, 34-28. But my heart is with the Bills. So I'm going Buffalo, okay? I'm going Buffalo. Okay. I think, it's going to be a fairly high-scoring affair. I think 38-34 Buffalo. Kansas City driving at the end of the game. DeMar Hamlin picks off a pass.
How beautiful would
that to shut them down.
How beautiful
and all those demons are vanquished. 38-34 Buffalo.
Here's what I think.
And then I got to buy some tickets.
So it reminds me a little bit of the mid-90s and the Cowboys and Niners. Mm-hmm. We just couldn't get over the hump. We just couldn't. And
but that was the Super Bowl in essence. When they played one another,
it was.
You knew what was going to happen.
Those were the two best teams.
Whoever won was going to win the Super Bowl.
And again, Dallas always has had a chip on their shoulder against the Niners because of what Joe did, Joseph Montana.
Right. Oh, absolutely. Great historical rivalry.
Yeah, and we just couldn't get over the hump. We were the best team in football all year, right? I mean, we were 14-2. We had the game at home, and they beat us 30-20. And then the next year they beat us 38-20 in Arlington. That's Irving. Irving, Texas, I think. Whatever.
No, I think
was it Arlington? I think it was. I think
thought
they were right outside of Irving, Texas.
I thought it was Arlington for the stadium, but isn't their headquarters in Irving?
Yeah, they're
like the
they're still it still is, yeah.
Okay, I mean it's all kind of
it's all right there.
Okay.
And then that next year the Niners went all in, right? And people don't even know this, but like unless you just are a 49ers junkie, Steve Young almost didn't play in that game because he couldn't move his neck the day before. And people don't even know that. Like he had to have shots because he couldn't even move his neck, and like the team was in panic. Like Steve Young's not going to play, then we're done.
We're doomed, right?
And we can't afford this
after everything that we've gone through.
And
we're not going to even be able to. He can't play.
Yeah, and we can't afford this roster. So this is it. Like we don't win here, we're going to be bad for 10 years, which actually didn't happen. But anyway, Steve played, of course, and we know. I mean, 38-28, and they went on to win the Super Bowl. I get this same vibe with the Bills. I really do. And I think this is a super tight game because I think both teams are going to be playing tight, like the whole game. I don't think anybody's just going to I'm going to line up 4-jet, I'll go, unless I'm just going to throw it to the corner of the end zone. I don't think you're going to see a lot of that. I think it's going to be run the ball.
It's going to be cold as crap.
It's going to be cold as crap.
So that's good.
I think a lot of crossing routes. There's going to be a lot of zone reads and stuff. I think that, both quarterbacks will run because, I mean, it's what they do. There will be some bad calls and everything. I think in the end of it, I really think it's the Bills with a walk-off field goal because that is poetic justice.
Right.
31-28.
All right.
To go to the Super Bowl to play the Commanders.
Nolans.
That's
there ain't nowhere to stay in Nolans, just in case you wonder.
Oh, of course. That's a drive down, watch the game, and drive
figure out where else you gonna stay, right?
Yeah, I've been there, done that. You go to a game and you're like, oh, there's nowhere to stay. Well,
when I went to the Final Four, we stayed at the Marriott there on the riverfront, and that was awesome because the convention center where they had all the Final Four stuff was right across the street.
Oh, cool!
Which was really cool. So we got to have the Final Four experience and all that, and then of course you just walk down Poydras Street, and that's what takes you to the arena.
Yeah, the Final Four you can get away with that, not the Super Bowl.
Yeah, no, like literally you can look and there's nowhere to stay.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
I mean, I can call my boy, see if he can, old Donnie.
But yeah, it's kind of those, you're staying outside, driving in, and then driving back, or you got to figure something else out.
You drive 3 hours back and find a shack beside the road.
Right.
Right.
Yes.
Where you have to give some semen to stay.
That's right.
Those are my favorite ones. Make your deposit on the way in, boys. So I mean, we both. So I'm sticking with the Bills because I said they'd be in the Super Bowl at the beginning of the year. I'm going to stick with them, and I
like it.
I feel good because I would be 50% right. I did pick the Dallas Cowboys to play the Bills in a rematch. I was dead wrong about that because the Cowboys suck nuts.
Yeah, you really want to talk about? I mean, you all were injury riddled. They just had a meltdown.
It just sucked.
Had a meltdown.
What a shit of it.
Bad, bad.
They are slowly becoming the Raiders. Ooh. It's happening.
I'm really hopeful that Pete Carroll can do something with the Raiders. I know I squirreled on that, but I really, because here's the thing. My fear is that's going to mess up kind of his legacy as kind of being, a good coach, a player's coach, a high energy, kind of older guy, older school, but still high energy, can relate because he has fun, all things. I'm afraid going there is kind of going to tarnish some of his legacy.
Oh, yeah.
So I kind of wish he hadn't done that. And I also don't know where he was in their choices of who they were trying to get either.
The Niners interviewed him for DC.
See, he should have done that. But now they'll get Slaw back, and
Robert Saleh's coming back.
And I think that I think that fixes.
Fixes
some things.
That fixes that. Yeah. Robert Saleh, who
and he wishes that he never left.
Oh yeah, that whole.
But you have the opportunity to be a head coach, but you went to the freaking Jets. Yeah. And now they've hired Aaron Glenn. Yeah. I don't know if that's a great hire.
No, he's gonna he'll be gobbled up there too. It's just
they suck. Woody Johnson sucks.
There's a few cesspools in the NFL, but that's one of them.
So Bills and Commanders.
Yes, the Red Commanders versus the Bills.
Dun dun dun.
Oh.
Sounds very Soviet.
It does. Yeah.
Dangerous. Et liberté.
Et liberté. Bills Commanders.
Donald J.
We'll see if we're right. We'll know.
We're going to know soon enough.
We'll know in a few short hours. Well, whatever.
Several hours.
Several hours, but we'll know.
A day and a half.
A day and a half, we'll know.
And a day and a half.
Episode 84 of the Dave and Doc Podcast.
1984.
60,000 subs, baby.
It's good.
60,000 subscribers.
Thank you, Germany. Thank
we
you,
appreciate
Canada.
you, Germany,
Thank
Canada.
you, Tokyo. I was just kidding earlier. You know, we know you love us.
They didn't know what you said anyway.
They have a translator. It's like that little ear thing you put in your phone, your ear.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
Like they're at the UN.
Yeah.
They translated what that cop said to me, too.
That's right.
Registration.
Thank you all very
Touch
much.
my penis.
We'll try to have a shorter one next time.
All right, folks.
Watch out for it.
All things David Doc on our website.
Swinging left to right.
DavidDoc.com. That's Dave A&D Doc. DOC.com, folks.
And the water's cold.
Until next time.
See y'all.
See ya.
Bye.